Okay, we're back. And we're going to head through the dungeon, and we're going to clear out Orc. Should have a couple easy floors here, hopefully. Oh wow. 5 haste. It's really great. I'm going to try to save those. Haste is going to be really important for this character. It's important for any character, but it's going to be really important during the orb run for this guy. So we're going to try not to waste those. As for this ghost, he gets confused. Nice. We will also confuse Urug. He has pretty crappy MR. And as a benefit, he's going to give us some javelins. Nice. We can basically kill everything with these stones. Get the confuse on Maurice. I don't recommend letting him hit you, especially if you have good wands. Hey, javelins of returning. Maybe a good cloak? Oh, poison resistance. Well, we don't need that. We are Naga. Hey, it's Erica. She's confusable. We're just going to spam confuse on her and take her out. No need to take her Scimitar of Flaming. Throwing is our Hydra killer now. Nice, so we have a lightning rod. That's really good with 12 evocations. Okay, pretty easy floor. And we have a scroll of blinking now. That's good to see. No barding yet. You know, I might even, for acquirement, it's entirely possible that I'm gonna, if I find acquirement, and I don't have a barding yet, I might go armor. But maybe not. I tend to go book when I'm worshipping Trog. Okay, let's drop these Fire Dragon Scales for now, and these 2 wands. 3 wands. Nice, let's go for strength. Should we try out the amulet? Yeah, let's try it out. It's rage. We don't need rage. I would almost wear harm on this character. This is the rare character where harm might be a smart thing to wear. I'm not sure. Probably not still, but maybe. If you're gonna do it, it's a ranged character is the one you want to use it on. Too bad we can't throw large rocks. I would like to see large rocks get a little more action. I'd love to see large rocks usable by any large race. As it is, only trolls and ogres can use them, which, I mean, fine, but it kind of means that you're silly if you don't train throwing on an ogre, and probably a troll as well. Personal opinion. They're just really good. I mean, they're better than steel javelins, and steel javelins are ludicrously good, so... They're better than silver javelins versus Orb of Fire. Oh, come on. Okay, good. Demonologist was worrying me a bit for a second there. By the way, don't forget we have blowgun, so that is an option for some of this stuff. Let's identify that scroll. It was immolation. Wand of Acid, nice to see. Yeah, I'm tempted to use these scrolls because I would like to enchant up that blowgun. Let's use a couple. Vulnerability, fine. Holy Word, didn't want to waste that, but fine. You know, I probably shouldn't be read-IDing those because I might come across brand weapon. And other than that Great Mace, nothing endgame has spawned. The Great Mace down here in layer 6 that spawned. Nothing that I would want to brand. Hey, armor shop. There's a plate armor here. That's interesting. Slay +3. And it's a +7 plate armor. Oh boy. Are we going to use that? I'm going to say yes. We only lose 3 slay. And we gain a ludicrous amount of AC. So that is worth the price of admission. Yeah, fine. Cool. Perfectly good use of gold. Now, I'm not going to say we're unstoppable now, but we're pretty good. We're on the bus. Alright, I'm going to drop these 2 rings because we have RN+, excuse me, we have RF+, and we have RC+ at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and go into Orc before we finish the rest of Dungeon. Okay, we took a big pile of hit point damage there. Not so sure about all this. Let's go into the hallway. Got a very contested entrance, unfortunately. Wow, Trog gave me an Arbalest. Trog doesn't have a very good idea of what I like. Okay, this is more stuff than I'd like to do. Oh, dude guy? I've got another dude guy ghost. Let's go up. I'm gonna berserk. This should be okay. We've got a lot of GDR and a lot of AC. This is not ideal though, I'll tell you that. Oh man, and there's a Orc Sorcerer here. Sucks. Let's invis. Jeez, I'm really tempted to I'm really tempted to immolate and try to kill all this stuff that way, but I know that's not a good idea. Well, first things first, let's kill this, sorcerer. Okay, let's go up. Take a lot of damage, but we are invisible. Okay, come on. It's not quite working. Okay, we got the confuse on the warlord. Javelins don't quite do it for me. That's fine, he's confused again, so... Alright, easy enough. This is one of the most contested orc entrances I've ever seen. Still quite a bit left. Wow, I'm not sure how to see what kind of... Okay, now it says Battle Axe of Venom. I was going to say, if that's electrocution, I might not head back down, but I think we can do this. Berserk. Should have attacked the troll first to get the constriction. Can't constrict something as big as a Cyclops, but it worked out. Oh my god, there's an Etten. Oh gosh. Well, I wouldn't have been down here if I knew that. Really? That's a lot of my hit points. 59% chance to confuse. I'm not taking the staircase like this. I have to blink, I guess. I have to blink all the way over here. We're gonna haste because this is like a top tier bad situation. We're gonna immolate. Yes, for real. We're gonna use acid. Nice, okay. Kind of using all my wands to deal with this. There's even a warlord. So there were, let's get this straight. Let's do a little accounting here. 2 warlords, a Cyclops, an Etten, more 2-headed ogres than I could shake a stick at, an orc sorcerer, and about 4 million orcs of lesser varieties just chilling right here at the entrance. This is a nasty entrance. Wow. I mean, granted, a goodly portion of this stuff is probably from... Come on, where's the constrict? There we go. Let's use Trog's Hand, which is something I probably should have done a while ago. Nice, we've killed the warlord, but we still have a lot of mighted things around us. Let's see, we're still hasted. I have a lot of confuse. I have acid. Let's use acid. I want to clear out the orc priest. Good. Gonna get the double zap here. Okay, cool. Jeez, what an orc. What a way to crash into orc. That was worth the haste. You know, this was not the kind of place where you wanted to be stingy about your consumables. In fact, I probably was a little stingy about my consumables. I should have used might as well. So what exactly happened here? Why was this so contested? I'm a little confused because this doesn't look like a super tight area or anything. Wow, and an orc priest on top of all that stuff I listed out before. I mean, the place just seems to have a vault in it. Some kind of orc-only vault, I think. This thing. I don't think it all came from here. I guess it could have. And for all that trouble, no good items either. But that's just Orc 1. I guess I'm glad I found that plate mail. That made this a lot less crappy. Wouldn't have been able to do that in the robe, probably. The only reason I was willing to even stick around for all that nonsense was because my GDR is so good now. If I only had the robe on, probably would have bailed. Probably would have said, this orc's not for me. But the plate mail kind of presented another option. Although in retrospect, I wish I hadn't done it. Because even with the plate mail on 27 AC, I didn't want to be toe-to-toe with an Etten. Frost, huh? Well, we've got RC+. Let's see what we're working with here. Pretty easy one. Oh, Frenzy. Nice. That's awesome. Just gonna have a Frost Giant in here once we get to the end. Okay, well that's a ring. Fills the slot, gives us RC+, so I'll take it. Okay, let's drop some wands, get some new ones. We're really dying on inventory space here. Let's try a potion. Well, no, I don't want to waste anything. Jeez. Let's just drop acid. We only had 2 charges left, so it's fine. Now here's our main vault. So let's just fight this stuff with tab. I think the best thing for this character is to get the constrict on and then just start throwing again. Considering my lack of weapon training. Where's the dragon? Or the frost giant? Do I not get one? Oh, there he is. Okay, Frenzy? I guess I'll Curare. Nice, we got him. I don't think I need to be too worried about this guy, but we'll use our good throwing items all the same. Battle Axe of Freezing. Well, we've gotten our first end-game melee weapon. It's two-handed. I don't think it's worth taking off this mace. With its very wonderful MR++ and RF+. Or this shield, which doesn't do as much, but it's not terrible. Okay. Definitely gonna want this lamp of fire. I'm gonna go ahead and burn these books. Get some piety out of this little trip. I suppose I'm gonna pick up this axe, and I'm not gonna wear it yet. I'm just gonna kind of drag it out of the vault here. I'll take off the shield real quick, just to see. Okay, it's +0. Kind of figured. But yeah, I'd rather have my shield on. I'd rather have my mace. We're focusing on throwing, really, so. Oh boy! That's an ogre mage. Steel javelins take it out just the same. It would be really nice if I had some penetration. But, you know, it'll come. A lot of dead bats here. What an odd vault. Why? Why are there bat corpses? I don't get it. Is it supposed to be like the bat cave? Oh. So this is a fun one. We auto-explore and we get Rupert doing this. We're going to use the confusion plan because, check it out, can't really use wand on him, 13% chance, but I'm pretty sure, well, we could certainly curare him. But let's see if we can get the confuse instead. Well, why don't, no, let's do curare. Good, he's slowed. Can we get the confuse? Okay, 3 confuses in a row. I'm inclined to believe we can't confuse him. Let's get him with Curare again. He's as sick as possible. Get the mace on, attack him. Okay, he's being constricted. Let's finish him off with steel javelins. He's effectively only mited now. He's not berserked. I mean, he is berserked, but he's not hasted because we did slow to him. So he's normal speed. Man. Let's take a step back. This is unfortunate. This is not a good thing to be fighting at the same time as this. Javelin of returning. Okay, this guy we're going to try to confuse. Got him. Got him. Nice. So there's another decent weapon, great sort of slicing, but again, we're so deep into throwing, I kind of just want to focus on it. Unless I find something really, really worth doing. I would rather have the defense that the shield affords me. Now, that whip is already below 1 speed. Demon whips are very easy to train, and it's anti-magic. So that whip, that is endgame. That's something we're going to swap to take out things. To take out things that really we don't want them casting on us. But with that said, I'm going to walk around with the mace on anyway, in the general case, because of that MR and the RF+. Okay, this is easy enough, just a bunch of little baby orcs. Electrocution. A couple of interesting electrocution weapons spawned, I guess, but I mean, look how well we're doing with throwing. I mean, why would I need a weapon? It would be nice to be able to berserk and do things, and we still can. But I'm happy to rely on this for now. Pretty exciting orc. Orc 1 and Orc 2. Both pretty good. I'm gonna mark this scarf as something I'm interested in. That was a demon blade. Great sword. Don't really want anything there. We'll check out the scarf here in a minute. I want to see the other shops first. Oh wow, a generic orc with a bow. Branded bow, even. I enjoy the variety of the sprites. When you see like something that's not normal, not something you don't usually see, like a regular orc wielding a bow or something. Okay, so we've got wraiths, which means Josephine, and of course Josephine's right there behind them. So we're gonna use steel, which doesn't finish them off. Swapped javelins of returning. That's more rays than I think she usually has. I thought she only had 3, but maybe they changed it. These are some interesting choices. Well, we're going to buy out the agility. We definitely want that. We definitely want the haste, and we definitely want the might. Everything else I mainly want to identify. I mean, I guess Ambrosia is pretty good. But let's wait until we see the rest of the shops. Should be one left. Oh, we're down to stones. Man, I wish I could set, like... I wonder if it's based on alphabetical order. We're going to test this. Okay, so when these tomahawks run out, silver tomahawks should be queued if it's alphabetical. And I'll just go ahead and set the rest of them up the way I want them. Yeah. So I think it'll go down the list. I think I've just discovered how to set up my throwing so that when one runs out, the one I want shows up. Okay, cool. Enchant weapon, I've been looking for that. Teleportation is huge for this character. We want those. We want magic mapping. We want torment just to have it identified. We want recharging. We want all of this identify. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to identify the scroll. Silence, that's actually pretty good to have. Let's drop one of these wands of digging. Not going to have torment just on hand. Vulnerability is interesting to have on hand. Yeah, I mean, we do have confuse and we have it pretty high. I don't know. Really having some issues with item management though. Regardless, let's enchant. We're going to enchant up the blowgun actually. Nice. I mean, unfortunately that only adds to our item management woes, but okay, we had all those potions, cool. Okay, good, good, good. Now we can drop potions of brilliance. We're not going to be casting spells probably this entire game. That leaves us with 2 slots. Check out all this. Is this like the biggest number of things I could have? I guess I could have silver javelins still. Jeez. And there's poisoned on the ground. Yeah, forget that. Let's check out this scarf. You know, I was kind of hoping for that. This is worth eating the 3 AC penalty. Because we effectively have another 25 hit points, I guess. More if we regenerate a little bit in combat. Probably the best thing we could ask for in that slot outside of an artifact. Okay. So, a little bit of a rocky start on Orc 1. But we got it. Still fascinated by just how much stuff was... Wow, I didn't mean to go all the way up to D1. Whoops. I'm fascinated by how much stuff was in here. I think it's just because it's a relatively cramped floor. This vault generated a whole bunch of nasty things. Like, probably packed to the brim, if I had to guess. And every single square. What gets me is that they all were within hearing range of the staircase, so when I went in here, half that stuff wasn't around, but it slowly shuffled out and made its way in. We could have handled it a little bit differently. We could have used digging, gone into like a kill hole here. That might have been more optimal. I mean, we've had digging on hand for a while, so nothing's stopping me from doing that. But all in all, I mean, we did okay. I mean, didn't die. I don't think we were close to death, really. 75 hit points was probably the lowest we got, which is pretty low against things like Ettins. That's in one-shot range on most characters. I don't think we had 75 hit points next to an Ettin, though. Just next to an Orc Warlord, maybe a two-headed Ogre, which those I don't think could one-shot me with that much hit points. I think in this plate mail I have enough AC plus GDR to survive. Anyway, let's go ahead and finish out dungeon. With this much throwing, we just kind of tab our way to victory. Still no barding, by the way. Entirely possible we go this entire game with no barding. That's how rare it can be. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, looks like I was correct about this tomahawk situation. About the thrown missiles. So that makes things a little easier. Learn something new every day, right? What did I pick up? That's using up my inventory. Well, there's the Ice Blast. You know, we're going to drop the scrolls of enchant armor. We will come back for them if need be. Hopefully there will be a need for that. We have Identify, but I'm not going to use it. I was going to say that I maybe a little bit regret getting so much evocations, because we're not going to be using it much. Evocations and throwing, there's a lot of overlap there. But on the other hand, really, really it's not really a problem, because I'm getting mana from my evocations training, which gives me hit points effectively. And I mean, I've got the reusables like the Rod, the Lamp of Fire, which are slightly better than just throwing in some situations. I've got hexes, which change things up, like the Confusion Wand. And later I'll have Box of Beasts. So, Sack of Spiders, that kind of thing. Kind of a tab fest here. Okay, a lot of ugly things. Let's confuse the dudes in front. If I get corroded, I'm going to be a little more concerned, but until then I'm happy to constrict and throw. Yeah, I mean, that worked out just fine. A lot of ugly thing corpses. 3 mutation potions. I guess there's really only 3 ugly thing corpses here. Do I want a mutation roulette? I'm gonna go with no, because if I get teleportitis, I'm basically dead. So, I'm not going to succumb to my worst instincts. Okay, Deep Elf Mage is a big deal. Let's use Steel on him. Can I not constrict Yaktars? I guess they're considered to be too large. Maybe. He picked up a Wand of Lightning. Okay. Okay, we're gonna forget that. We're gonna confuse. Let's see what's on D14 real fast. A glowing blowgun. Could it be better than the one we're using? Yes, it is. A little bit of a regret to use enchant weapon on that, but can't complain if I'm handed a +4. Kind of tabbing through this stuff. Alright, let's heal up and service somewhere else. Soy boy. Okay. Take him out. Must have dived. Okay, we can't be banished by Louise. Probably not a big deal to fight her. 25% chance to confuse. Why don't we try to get the needle confuse on her? Blocks, hits, resists. That's several blocks. Why am I trying to throw things at this chick? Yeah, that's better. I mean, throwing is fine if she's confused, but if she's not confused yet, needles are really not going to do anything versus a large shield, so didn't think that one through too well. This should be fine. We're certainly able to take on a fire dragon now. Oh. Another tiny formicid ghost. Um, Just gonna tab this stuff and we'll see how it goes. Well, until it gets next to me. Then I'm gonna constrict and throw. I like this combo. When I play my Octopode Berserker, I may do something similar. Although Octopode Berserker is going to be interesting. I believe that outside of Mummy, it's like the worst possible Berserker. Because, I mean, if you think about it, you'll never really have any GDR. Can't cast statue form if you're worshipping Trog, right? So what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna, how are you gonna deal with that, you know? So, it's, something to think about. Well, let's go ahead and identify digging. And you know what? Well, no, I'm not going to waste the other identify on that, on the acid. Probably don't even need to carry acid around, but I will, because it is useful. Even if we do have penetration still. So right, where to go next? Well, as usual, I've done Orc and Dungeon, so the next thing I do will be a lair branch. We've got Swamp and Snake Pit for this. Now, I don't have Aralek available. Swamp is pretty clearly the choice here. It's the easier branch. I don't need Aralek to do it comfortably. I don't need Aralek and Snake either, it's just something I'd like to have. And we can kill Hydras pretty easily. Not even going to bother getting Flaming Weapon, because we have so much throwing. We'll just use that. We'll do just fine. And on top of all the benefits of going into Swamp, I've also got RC++, so bog bodies won't be an issue. Really nothing in here scares me. I guess if I get like slammed right up against a bunch of Hydras, that would be bad. Or a Thorn Hunter could, in theory, be bad if it maxes out damage on me a couple times. But really, outside of annoying uniques, not a lot in here can really cause me problems. I could improve my AC by 1, by the way, if I wore a helmet and spent 2 enchant armors on it out of this 3-stack, but I don't think that's worth 1 point of AC to blow 2 scrolls for that. So I'm going to hold off on that. But yeah, pretty happy about this plate mail. We've done really well on items. It doesn't look like much at first glance, like, oh, it's only a +4 mace. But +7 plate armor is really good. Like, this is endgame quality. This is something that would see you through to the end of the game. This is a great find. Rings are not so interesting, and the amulet's not so interesting, but to say that we're hurting right now on items would be wrong. This character is doing really well. Even if we don't have barding. I mean, these are minor complaints. This stuff is going to carry me for a while. And as for the throwing, I mean, even if we had gotten absolutely nothing, throwing would be carrying us. That's one of the reasons I love throwing so much, is because you're always going to have stones. If you're worshipping Trog or Oka, you're going to have way better stuff than that. So it's very outcome independent. Whatever the game throws at you, you're still going to be able to work with it. It's one of the reasons I like throwing so much. Probably the best. You know, I would honestly, having played a few throwing characters recently, I think I would say that throwing is better than longbows. In the greater scheme of things. Longbows are going to kill things faster and better, but throwing, you're never going to have an ammo problem regardless of the god that you're worshipping. And you can train it from essentially the beginning of the game. Within like a floor or two, you have enough stones to last you forever. So, can't really do that with bows. If you start a Centaur Hunter and you train nothing but bows, you're probably going to run out of arrows. Maybe not. Maybe you can kind of suffer through it and use your short sword and hoof things to death every so often, and not run out of arrows. But unless the game throws some arrows your way, you're going to run out. Throwing, not so much. You're probably never going to play a game where you don't have a big stack of stones all the time. So that's something to keep in mind. Plus, there's the penetration brand. If you manage to find that, like, ooh, that's way better. It gives you bolt spell without casting, you know? Bolt spell that you can cast your entire range of vision, you know, for no magic, basically. By the way, I'm going to drop these potions. Since we're Trog, there's almost no reason to have one, since we can just do that ourselves. So, alright, I'm going to cut the video here. Head into Swamp next time, see how that goes. Maybe do Snake. We'll see how quick it is. But until then, I'm signing out.